Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Or if it's your first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Marlene and I talk about everything related to eating disorders and healing the relationship with your own body, with movement and with food. And today I want to talk about a topic that is actually a question that's coming up over and over again on my social media, and this is like intuitive eating and how to get there. Because in fact, in order to get to intuitive eating, your eating has to be intentional for quite a while. I talked about extreme hunger a lot, and I also talked about how you sometimes have to force feed yourself in recovery in order to get to a point where you can actually eat intuitively and it's healthy. Because oftentimes in recovery, we kind of lie to ourselves and we're like, oh, I'm eating intuitively, when we're actually under eating. And this is when the eating disorder is still very loud, very present, and is lying to us. So in order to get to intuitive eating, you have to eat intentionally. And I'm going to talk about what that looks like and how you can get there. So first things first, I'm not a medical professional, so all of my tips are based on experience and based off my own research. And I would always advise you, if you're going through recovery or if you're going through an eating disorder, to also see a doctor, because it's very, very important to get your labs checked and to just make sure that you're overall okay. That being said, I talked about extreme hunger a lot, and extreme hunger is something that is so important to listen to, whether it's physical or mental extreme hunger. Extreme hunger is something that many people in recovery actually experience, and it is so important to listen to it because that's the only way to show your body that it's safe and that food is not a scarcity. Oftentimes, people actually struggle with their hunger cues. That means that they sometimes don't really feel hungry when they still know they need to eat. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about intentional eating. So, for instance, somebody who never really ate breakfast during their eating disorder might struggle to eat during the day or during the morning when they are in recovery. You still need to eat though. So even though you might not feel hungry and your eating disorder might tell you to not eat, you know that you need to eat. And while I'm not a fan of meal plans, this is something to be very aware of. So I always tell my clients at least 3 meals a day and at least 2 or 3 snacks in between. And of course, there's no maximum. So if you are more hungry or if your mental hunger is louder, listen to it. There is literally no maximum. And I know a lot of you feel like they're eating the whole day, which is fine. I mean, this is like mandatory to listen to. But somebody recently asked me on social media if it's not contraindicative to eat when you know that you will feel bad afterwards. And this is the thing about recovery. You will feel bad about eating for quite some time, whether it's physical discomfort or mental discomfort. That will happen. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone, but to be real with you. But there will come a time where this physical or mental discomfort won't happen anymore. And especially in eating disorder recovery, it is so important to actually go through the discomfort and to do the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Because that's what recovery is about. You don't want to stick with your comfort zone and stay with your eating disorder. You actually want to get out there. And in order to get out of there, you have to work against your eating disorder over and over and over again. So when your eating disorder is telling you not to eat, then you have to eat. When your eating disorder is telling you to choose the salad instead of the burger, you have to choose the burger. And I know that it can feel counterintuitive, and I know that we actually live in a world where intuitive eating is such a big topic, and we also live in a world of wellness culture, where we talk about mindful eating all of the time, talk about listen to our hunger cues, stop immediately when we're satisfied, all these kind of things. But the thing is, you are in a different position. The person you compare yourself to might not have had an eating disorder or might not be in recovery. So don't compare yourself to what or how much other people eat, and just stick with your own eating. So when somebody is asking me, isn't it contraintuitive to eat when I know that I will feel uncomfortable tomorrow morning? It is not, because you are working towards your recovery. You're working towards a mindset free from food scarcity. So in order to get to that balance, you have to eat and eat to show your body and show your brain that food is not scary, that food is not a scarcity, and that it's safe to be around foods. Because that's another thing. A lot of people still don't surround themselves with food, still don't keep snacks at home, because they are so afraid that they won't have control over it. But recovery is about letting go of control. So my tip for you is eating has to be intentional before it becomes intuitive. And that is okay. And whether that takes 2 years or 5 years or less, It's fine, because the recovery is different for everyone, and it might take some time for your brain to rewire and to relearn those new habits. There's nothing wrong with intentional eating, because eventually intentional eating will become intuitive. And I still have days where I have to eat intentionally. For instance, when I have a long day ahead and I know I won't have a lot of time to eat in between, then I have to eat a little bit more in the morning just to make sure that my body is nourished during the day. So this is something that also recovered or healthy people cope with, and this is something most people don't even think about, because it's also a form of intuitive eating. So intuitive eating doesn't only mean to listen to your hunger and to only eat when you're hungry, but it also means to know your body and to know how much your body needs and how to nourish your body. I hope this helps you guys, and as always, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.